shockingly enough, I only lived here for 2 years. My family moved here from Pittsburgh. Some originally from Pennsylvania. We moved here when I was 16. I'm from Gilbert. When we moved out here, I lived in the East Valley, so I'm fresh to this side of town. Highland, I went to Highland for 2 years. Ended up going to Southeast Missouri State where I played basketball. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want some like real answers. Who knows like what they dream of being when they grow up? Just start throwing some things in here. And like true aspirations. What do we have here?
A chef.
You want to be a chef?
Yeah.
Okay, I see some hands over here. Ladies, no?
Marine biologist.
Marine biologist. Some hands over here. Yeah?
Come on, girl.
I like that. What do we have here? FBI? Nice. Football? Okay. Archaeologist. I see some over here. Yeah. Anybody over here? Football. You're a lot of athletes. Pastor? Say two more. We'll go here. Model?
What?
Nothing wrong with that. Well, considering I played basketball my entire life, I've been an athlete my whole life, you could probably guess when I was younger I wanted to grow up and play basketball. If you've seen the movie Love and Basketball, the little girl talks about being the first female player in the NBA. I wanted to be that. So I ate, breathe, sleep basketball. I walked around, always had a ball in my hand. So in my mind, when I grew up, I was going to be a basketball player. I had my first setback when I was my sophomore year in high school. Tore my ACL the first time. The one thing I can say is I grew up in a Christian household. My mom was a deaconess. My dad was a youth pastor. My dad was a minister. So in my house, very, very little small talk happened. If my parents talked to me, they always talked about purpose. What do you want to do? They always asked me why a lot. It was very annoying. I'd like to joke around. My parents were like, not that joking's bad, but they asked me why a lot. I'm like, why do you ask me why? Like, you're going to thank us later. Just answer the question. Try to figure out why. Ask yourself why to everything. Everything you do, everything you think about, everything you're aspiring to do, ask yourself why. So it's interesting that he shows this video. So the first time I tear my ACL, I can bounce back. I'm a teenager. I'm resilient. When we're teenagers, we feel like nothing can beat us. So, and growing up, prayer was huge in my family. Anytime I wanted to answer to something, my parents were like, pray. Fast and pray. I'm a teen. Who wants to give up food? Never wanted to give up food. Never wanted to fast. Never wanted to pray. So as I got a little bit older, I started to mature a little bit. Things started to make a little more sense. So I say that because a lot of what I say now may not make a lot of sense to you. But as you get older, I would like for you to reflect back to what I'm saying. ASU was recruiting me to play basketball there. ASU, NAU, I got recruited heavily in the East Coast. I didn't want to go back east. A lot of my family wanted me to play for Pitt. I didn't want to go back east, so I entertained ASU for a while. My dad's like, don't make a judgment based off of what you want to do. Pray on it. So that's what I did. I prayed. I went on my recruiting trip, and I ended up linking up with one of the players who also was a Christian. We talked a little bit, and I came home. My dad's like, what do you think? I was like, I don't know. He's like, don't make any decisions until you have a peace about it. So I went on a couple more recruiting trips, and I still wasn't, they were all big schools, but not like, it just didn't feel right. So he's like, don't move on it. Pray. As soon as you feel a peace about a school, then make the move. So they give me a call, and I'm like, Missouri? I didn't even know Missouri was a state. Why would I ever go play in Missouri? So my dad's like, why do you think you would go to Missouri? So he was big on, when God moves in your life, he usually takes you to a place where you're uncomfortable.
That's right.
If I go to Pitt, I'm going to be surrounded by family. I'm going to be comfortable. If I stay in Arizona, I'm going to be comfortable. I'm not going to grow as a person. My dad's like, you want to play basketball for you. When you're here, you're placed on earth to have a purpose. And I'm going to link purpose into serving, into not giving up. It's all going to make sense when I get to the end. So I'm like, I don't want to go to Missouri. There's no people there. There's just farms. Like, nothing about it sounded appealing. My dad's like, that's probably where you're supposed to go. So I tucked my tail. I ended up going to Southeast Missouri State against my own will. I get there, the first year that I'm there, actually my senior year, they went under a heavy NCAA investigation. My basketball coach was doing some extremely unethical things. My first year, we broke a lot of records. It was a record-breaking year for our school. If you look in our record books, nothing exists. We got into a lot of trouble. But my basketball coach did one thing for me. The guy who coached me my freshman year before he got fired stuck with me. This led to my mindset changing. In any person that I meet in my life, I try to figure out why they're in my life. Why did God place this person in my life? What am I supposed to get from them? Why are they here? What are they here to teach me? So my freshman year, my basketball coach put us through this one. He had something called Hell Week. It was, I have teammates who gave birth. They said it was harder than giving birth. It was by far the hardest physical thing I've ever endured in my life. I mean, he just put us through the ringer. On that final Saturday, he put us through something called failure. It was a workout. It was a 5-hour workout of every physical thing you could possibly think of to push you way past beyond what you thought you could do. So, has anyone ever seen anybody involuntarily cry? Like somebody just cry and they're like, why am I crying, but tears are coming out? All right, I witnessed a lot of my teammates go to do a lift and just start crying and talking normal. They're like, why am I crying? It was that bad. So that workout stuck with me for a really long time, and it wasn't a physical aspect of it, it was the mental. So let's fast forward to my senior year in college. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I was moving on the basketball court when I tore my meniscus. Now, prior to that, I tore my ACL again, so that's 2 ACL tears before I even graduated college. My senior year, last game of the season, literally, I'm trotting. I'm chasing a girl, but I'm trotting off the screen. My leg goes like this. It's little. I kind of shake it off. That was the beginning of my tear. T, you need to get out the game? No, coach, I'm okay. I get the ball. I start running up the court. I go do a little move like I did on him out there. No, I didn't do that, no. I go to try to blow by a girl, completely tear my meniscus. Okay? I had just gotten, my coach just showed me about a list of letters about this thick of overseas teams that wanted me to come play for them. So in my mind, my dream is finally coming true. I'm going to be overseas. I would like to get seen over there, come back here, possibly play in the WNBA. So, of course, again, in my mind, my dream is about to come true. They can't find out what's wrong with my leg. Okay, my leg is stuck in a 90-degree angle. I can't move it. They let about 2 months go past. I'm laying on tables. Doctors are pulling my leg. They're putting weights on me. They're trying to bend my leg. My leg will not move. MRIs, X-rays, you name it, they tried it. Couldn't figure out what it was. 2 months after I tear it, we find that I have a bucket handle tear. What that means is my meniscus turned this way. Now, if this is my kneecap, I have cushion in between my knees, okay? In between your kneecap. Mine had torn this way and flipped and jammed in between my knees. So no matter what they did, my knee would not move. So he's like, I don't normally like to remove a meniscus. I like to shave it. I like to repair it. If you want to play basketball, we'll try to do that. He goes in and realizes that he can't do it. Right there, he tells me I'll probably never play again. The problem was, it wasn't that I couldn't play again. For me to get a knee repair, or get another meniscus, it was going to cost me about 80 grand. Now, we know in the NBA that's very possible to make that money back. When you're a female basketball player, you don't make that kind of money. We play because we love it. So for me, it wasn't worth it. Now, do I love the game? Yes. Was that what I wanted to do? Yes. But 80 grand for meniscus wasn't worth it for me. So my dad, knowing how I felt, about wanting to play basketball. He kind of looks at me and he just laughs. Dad, what's so funny? You know this is my dream. This is what I wanted to do. He says, you say I a lot. What do you mean? You're being selfish. Dad, it's what, if I wanted to do that my whole life, if this is what I'm passionate about, are you sure that's what you're passionate about? I think I've wanted to do it since I was little. No, think about it. Why did you want to play basketball? So when he would ask me that, all I could say was that I love it. Why do you want to be a chef?
I like to eat.
You like to eat?
Shit.
Who wants to be the marine biologist? Why do you want to be a marine biologist?
Just want to see the ocean.
You want to see the ocean. Where's my model? Did she leave? Why do you want to be a model? Why do you want to be, why do you want to be a model? You want to be famous, you want to be on TV? Why do you want to be a pastor?
Because my grandpa is a pastor.
Grandpa? I like that. I had a couple more. Let me know why you want to do what you want to do.
I want to be an FBI because I'm in the human behaviors and I was on
Okay. My athletes, where are my athletes at? Why do y'all want to be athletes? Because you want to make money. I seen another hand. Okay. More money. Interesting. Why do you want to be an athlete? My mini-me, why do you want to be an athlete? Because you enjoy playing basketball. I got one more. Why? What do you want to do and why? Little lady in the back.
I want to do softball and I enjoy doing it because it relaxes me.
Because it relaxes you. Interesting answer. Now I'm asking you guys, because again, why I wanted to play basketball was solely focused on me. So, one more question. As a group, everybody raise your hand if you can answer this question. Who likes school?
Oh, I do.
We all like school? Good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah?
I love
Who
school.
in here plans on going to
I love
college?
school from the wrong things.
No. Kill him. That's funny. Alright, I'm asking you that because when I was in high school, I absolutely hated school. I'm not going to lie. I hated school. Did not like it, did not like to read. All I wanted to do is play basketball. You good down there? Alright. I won't keep y'all long. Just trying to help you. I didn't like school, but I knew in order to get to play basketball, I had to go to college. When I got to college, I didn't study, no. I didn't read, but I got straight A's. Okay? I was there solely, again, to play basketball. That takes me through all the injuries. After my injuries happened, I didn't have a clue what graduate school was. Okay? Graduate school is after you go to college. If you want to get a master's degree, you typically go to graduate school to get your master's degree, study after those 4 years of your undergrad. No idea what I was doing, no idea what I wanted to do, but I met a lady, and like I told you earlier, every person that I meet in my life, I try to figure out why they're in my life. What are they teaching me? Why are they here? What are they showing me? So I met a lady. We never talked. She was actually an academic advisor that I never spoke to in the 4 years I was there. She said, you should try to go to Western Kentucky.
Oh.
I called my dad. I said, Dad, this lady wants me to go to another state that I've never heard of, that I don't want to go to. I want to come home. My dad's like, is there an opportunity there? I said, she's saying there's a chance I could get a graduate assistantship and have my degree paid for. Now, my undergrad was paid for. I didn't think my master's was going to be paid for. He said, are you going to be comfortable? I said, no, sir. Where do you want to go? I want to come home. You think you're supposed to be home? No, sir. Have you figured out what you're supposed to do? No, sir. So, what do? I applied for the graduate assistantship hoping that I didn't get it. And what happened? I got it. I was mad. My dad's like, how could you be mad about getting your schooling paid for? So many people want to have their schooling paid for. And you're being selfish because you want to come home. He's like, what did I tell you when you were little? God will always take you to where you want or where you're not going to be comfortable, so all you have is Him.
It's good.
So I need you guys to listen to that. When you have friends, especially when you start wanting to go to school, who want you to be with them, you don't grow. And I got this mantra on my own. When you're complacent is when you're okay, you're comfortable. There's no room to grow. Are you guys listening to me? Yeah? Okay. There's no room to grow, and I had to learn that the hard way. I left my family, I left my friends. Everything I did was completely foreign to me, completely uncomfortable to me. Nothing I did I wanted to do, but I didn't want to be average. Who's competitive? Are you sure? Y'all are competitors? Y'all's lucky my knee was hurting. Y'all's lucky my knee was hurting. I'm a competitor. I did not want to lose. I felt like not being able to play basketball, I lost at life, and it bothered me. Didn't like it. So, I fast forward to graduate school. They tell me I have to teach. I don't like talking in front of people. Better yet, I don't like talking in front of my peers. So how am I going to get the respect of the people that are my age and try to convince them that they can learn something from me? You know what they did? They threw me into a classroom, handed me books, and said, teach all 60 of those kids that are your age what you know. I almost threw up. Like, I don't want to do it. But you know what? I was uncomfortable, and I grew. And as I was there, I began to hear everything my dad used to tell me about what I wanted to do. Everything I wanted to do was what I wanted to do. Nothing about basketball was helping me to serve other people. Nothing about playing basketball was going to change the life of somebody else. What was I going to do? Get money? And then what? Okay? I realized that it wasn't about money. So I had a section and a chapter for some of my students. It was about people that hit the lottery and have a lot of bad things happen to them. So I began to figure out, okay, I can't play basketball, but was basketball the platform that I needed to get to where I have to be to serve my purpose? We're all called to serve people. So figure out if your purpose serves other people. If it's for you, there's a good chance it's not what you're meant to do. My entire life, I thought I was supposed to be a basketball player. 1. 2, I absolutely hated school. What happened? I lost my opportunity to play basketball. I ended up being in school 6 years longer than I wanted to be, and I figured out that I was meant to serve people. Now, fast forward me here to Arizona. I told you I'm from the East Valley, okay? I moved out here to this side of town a year ago. They had a big conference meeting with all of the VPs and all the trainers in the area, and ended up finding out I was one of the top 3 trainers in the state. Sadly, what they try to do is move all the good trainers to the East Valley. It's horrible. I'm not a big fan of it, but I learned that I'm meant to serve. So they tried to get me to Queen Creek. It got under my skin, and this is where knowing what your purpose is and why you're serving people comes into play. Every friend of mine is in the East Valley, and every friend of mine wanted me to come to the East Valley. But I understood that there was maybe like a lack of caring in this area. Doesn't sound very good, but it's what I came to realize. They didn't want me out here. They wanted me in the East Valley. People were going to pay for you. People were going to pay for you. It all came back to money and helping this company get money. So, what do you see me do at the gym?
Kill people.
Did you say kill people?
Kill people.
I kill people, but at the same time, Are you shaking your head yes? No. If any of you have been to the gym, if you've had a parent come to the gym, there's a good chance, he called me Professor Payne, there's a good chance they've probably seen me killing somebody in the gym. But I made the connection with my life, with everything I've gone through. I've thought back to what my coach did to me, that one workout, that failure workout. It taught me that my body can handle way more than my mind will let my body think I can handle.
That's right.
I took everything he did to me in that one day and applied it across my life. And I get chills thinking about it because I'm like, that day I was mad, I was cussing him out, I wanted to go home, I took my shirt off, I'm like, Mom, come and get me, why did they have me out here? And what is this, 9 years later, I called him and I had to thank him. I'm like, if you wouldn't have did that to me that one day, I wouldn't be able to do what I do now. I probably wouldn't have made it through any of my injuries. Therapy, hated therapy, but I knew in order to get better, I had to go to therapy. Okay, mentally, he probably changed my life more than he'll ever know. Will he ever truly know because he's not here? No, but what do? I had to take what he taught me. I had to take everything my dad told me. I had to take what I felt like my purpose was and who I was meant to serve and wrap it all into one, which is why I managed to stay in the Tolleson, or in the West Valley area. I felt like people needed what my calling was. Who exercises? Let me ask that. How many go to, who stops when it hurts?
Feels good. It does.
Who's going to work out with me? I'm going to really find out. Professor Van, Pastor Jeff, they going to work out with me? Are they about to slide? Are they about to slide?
I don't know.
They ain't about to slide. Y'all ain't about to slide. Huh?
Give me in fit again. Give me back in fit. I am
I
ready.
trained in Baltimore Ray.
I gotta go to Correction Academy.
Yeah?
I gotta do my running.
Yes. Send it to me. Bring them to me.
He'll lose that
I'll
baby
wrap it
fat.
up with this, because I know y'all's attention spans are short. I don't want to keep it too long. And then I'll answer some questions. I'll wrap it up with this. Yeah. Well, I know y'all got to, my life, I could do my entire life. But I know maybe one day I can come back and we can all just kind of talk about everything. Kind of give y'all some insight into my life, for real, for real. I took everything, literally everything from my life. I'm big on reflecting. I'm a big reader, okay? I'm huge on reflecting. For somebody who hated school, I take my life now and I look back and I apply everything that one person has taught me. Like when he told me he wanted to come speak here, I'm like, man, I took a test. Have you ever heard take a test and turn into a testimony, make a message? Yeah. I'm big on that. Everything that happens to me, I try to find, okay, why and what was I meant to learn from this? I'm very big on, I was in this situation, why? For me, there's no such thing as a bad situation. No such thing as a bad situation. So I say that to say this. If I wanted to play basketball, I wouldn't have been serving anybody but myself. I would have possibly made money for my family, sent them money from overseas. Even then, I wouldn't have been able to get to see them. But I've managed to link fitness with spiritual and mental health. You see so many trainers now who only focus on people's physical health. You get a Insanity, a P90X DVD, you pop it in, what is Sean T going to tell you about your life? Nothing. What is he going to do? One more set, one more rep? I'm going to tell you one more set, one more rep. But at 2 o'clock in the morning when something goes wrong in your life and you need a phone call, I'm calling. I'm helping people, okay? How can I translate this physical fitness, being physically tough, into mental and spiritual toughness? And I try to do it so that people don't realize what's happening, but at the end of the day, they're like, man, a year ago, I couldn't do this rep, or a year ago, if this would have happened in my life, I wouldn't have been able to get through it. So it's very subtle. So I've managed to use basketball, the thing that was my dream, and turn it into my purpose as a way to serve. Y'all don't realize that, but that's what I'm doing. So, what are we dreaming for now? Still want to be a chef? I'm kidding. That's pretty much it. I mean, I could expand. I wanted to wrap it up just because I know time is of the essence and everything. So I kind of gave y'all everything in a nutshell. But if anybody ever just wanted to sit and talk and kind of pick my brain on some stuff, I was in your shoes not too long ago. And like I said, school, dreams, athlete, if it didn't have to do with sport, I wanted nothing to do with it. And now I'm the kid sitting at Barnes & Noble's reading a book trying to figure out how to help other people. I live to help. It seems like everything makes sense. It's very rewarding when you're helping people how do I say this, not a selfish reason. You'll see a lot of people help, but they'll want something for it. I see people post on Facebook all the time that they, gave somebody money or a homeless person money or something looking for praise. You don't want praise. If you're truly serving somebody, God sees what you're doing.
Sure.
He sees it. When you start wanting people to praise you, it doesn't matter anymore. So are you really serving if you're doing it for your own praise? Not really. Any questions? Try to make it short and sweet.
Do you have kids?
Do I have kids? Is that what you said? No, ma'am. I'm a free Jason. I guess I could have had them, but I mean, at a very young age, once I realized what I was meant to do, it was kind of one of those, get the job done, get to where you have to go. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want, unless I was in the military, I wouldn't want to have to pick kids up, move them here, move them here. My dad would be like, opportunities only knock once, knock at the same door once. When it comes, you gotta go. Don't be scared, just go. Got the phone call about school, just go. With kids, I really want to move my kids over to Kentucky the next state over. Should I just go home, be with my family? It happened to just work out.
Did you have a backup career?
Did I have a backup career? Is this when I was playing basketball? No, I didn't. You know what? When I was little, I used to always say I wanted to be a pilot, but I hated school. So was it pick up a ball and not have to use your brain, or use your brain and be a pilot? Not saying, people that are athletes don't use their heads, but having taught other athletes, because I taught for 3 years at a university. So having experienced that, we always felt a sense of entitlement, like we didn't have to think about anything because teachers would pass us because we were athletes. But I didn't have a backup career, but I knew I didn't want to be average. So once my ACL went, after my 3rd knee surgery, I'm like, okay, I have to switch gears. And really, when I thought about it, I had no idea if it wasn't for that one lady saying you should go to grad school, I was like, man, what's grad school? I should go to grad school. So, and it's funny because New Year's, I thanked her. I was like, I know I haven't talked to you in about 6 years, but I make sure I go back and thank people who have left a footprint in my life.
Are you married?
Huh?
Are you married?
I'm not married. I'm single and loving it.
Kids, marriage, dang.
Any other questions?
You have a dog?
Say it all. That's it.
Nice. Haha, I got an answer.
No, you look like you like 13.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's good. That's a compliment.
How old is she?
I just turned 27 on Monday.
When did she start college?
Well, think about it. If I
Because
did
she
a
said she
bachelor's
added
in
another
4
6
years, I was
years to what she
18.
had.
So I
Okay,
was
she's only
probably
4 years older than me.
4 years, that's 22. I did 2 years in a master's
What's your name
program,
again?
that's 20.
Tarina.
Math. I'm not smart.
Tarina?
And then I did
Tarina?
another year of teaching. That's 25, and I've been out here. May will be 2 years. So I'm old.
Nah.
I got to put on a mask so I can look young. So
Oh.
listen to me. Take one more. No. One more. Anybody? Like I said, I can come back another time and kind of go into detail. I know you guys are on a time crunch. Maybe we can block out a whole Saturday and we can just chat. Do you have a question? I know I saw it. Yeah. Last one.
She asked all of them.
Do I still live with my parents? My whole family lives in Pittsburgh.
Oh, she.
How? My dad is 45.
My dad is 42.
He's 40 something.
We just got back from Missouri, too.
Yeah, Missouri. It's horrible.
It's snowing.